Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cageology podcast. I am so excited to introduce Miss Mickayla Pyke to the podcast. Mickayla actually found me through another podcast, Manifestation Babe, way back in 2020, I
That sounds
believe.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Yep.
she was really interested in my work. We hopped on a call with her sister Sam, and there's been a lot of collaboration back and forth between
hmm
us. Some breathwork space holding for their retreat, some um, we were in a group together, an abundance circle together. I also held space for meditations inside of a group called the Sway Club, all sorts of things, podcast interview exchanges we've done on both
hmm
sides, I'm pretty
hmm
sure.
hmm
So I'm just so glad to have you back on the podcast, Mickayla.
Oh, it's so nice to be here. I feel like I
Yeah.
haven't seen your face in a long time. So it's just nice to yeah,
Be
to collaborate in
live.
this way. Yeah. Thank you for
Absolutely.
having me.
Of course. So a few years ago, you and your sister were collaborating on a podcast called Our Manifestation Journey.
hmm
And y'all ended up taking a step back from that, and now
hmm
you are working on something entirely new. Would
hmm
you mind telling us a little bit more about that?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we did our manifestation journey, which was a exploration and experiment with playing with the law of attraction and manifestation, and just literally starting from square one and trying to see if, okay, like all of these teachers are preaching this stuff. Like, let's see if it works. And we started implementing it, and just crazy things started to happen. Like, almost not right away. Because what they don't tell you about manifestation stuff is you got to dig deep personally. And so we learned the hard way. Like, okay, we are doing the shadow work. We are digging deep into our own personal development. And so that show has a little over 150 episodes, or maybe it's just 150 episodes right now. And then my sister went through like a seismic shift in her life personally, and she just did not feel confident in sharing what was going on with her personally on the show. She just needed a break. So I was like, all right, well, I can't really do it. I could do it without you, but I was like, nah, I'm going to take a break too. And I took some time to reflect and started to go even deeper with myself and my self development, and figure out what's sort of next on the path. And one thing that I discovered was that I mean, you're a projector too. That's one of the things that we've bonded over. I'm a projector, and it's very tricky with projectors. I find I mean, and maybe it's just my own personal experience, but it was something that I battled on the show with all the time, that in my own self-development journey, victim mentality. It's something that was coming up a lot. Was a mother of two young children at the time, or no, I've got three now. My youngest is 2 years old. So discovering that, I'm like, okay, I got to do something about this. I have to do something about this. So I jumped into Joe Dispenza work. I just crushed everything I could find on him, and I meditated every day. And that changed the game. Meditation every day completely changed the game for me.
What was
And in
your
one of
what was your meditation practice?
was the guided meditations with Joe.
Okay.
So I would just pick a favorite. I've got a whole Joe library on my phone now, where I'm just like, which Joe do I feel like listening to today? That's shifted since, for another reason. Sorry, I'm just going to take a sip of my tea.
Drink your tea. I love Joe Dispenza meditations. I found
Oh
him
my
in
gosh.
2017, 2018 when I was in Costa
Yeah.
Rica. I remember waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning because that's what he suggested to do these meditations.
Yeah.
Anyways,
He's not a projector.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. He's not a projector. I'm like, nah, that's not advice for projectors. Cute though. Yeah. So yeah, I dove into his work, and I would listen to there was this one interview that I basically listened to on repeat for 6 months. And I was like, okay, this is sinking in. So one of the meditations, when I was sort of in and out of that state, and it was during where some of his meditations are just music sort of at the end. So I was in this sort of free flowing state. And the name, the Elegant Channel, came to me in that meditation. And so I came out of that, and I was like, I think that's going to be the name of my business moving forward. I'm going to be the Elegant Channel. And this is 2 twofold or morefold. I don't know, multidimensional. I don't know what the word is. It serves a lot of purposes in my identity, in my business. I have really started to lean into myself and who I am as a person and as a brand and how I want to show up in the world. And I used to call my taste and style like old lady. And then I've recently discovered it's coastal grandmother aesthetic. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, even today, I'm wearing like a pink turtleneck with pearls on it. Like, it's like this old lady vibe. Then I was calling it like old money vibe. Like, it's this old, like, classic, like elegance. The word elegance has a lot of resonance for me. And when I started looking into other channels, other people who could do what I could do, I found it was a lot of like crystal balls and eyes and purple and sparkles. And I'm like, this is not me at all. Like, I don't resonate with this tarot, like purple tablecloth, rainbow, whatever vibe. It's not me. So I felt like I didn't even have anybody that I knew that I could sort of look to like emulate my vibe. So I was like, well, I guess it's just on me to do that. I got to just show up and be myself. And my goal is to normalize channeling and intuitive channeling as much as I possibly can. So what I say to all of my clients, all the people, I don't love that word client because I'm like, I don't know. I'm like the souls who come to be with me. I don't know. To me, it just feels like a clinical thing. And I'm like, it's not a clinical thing. We are two souls who have been guided to one another. I happen to have been honing this skill, and I'm happy to give you the guidance that's coming through. So yeah, I didn't know anybody that looked like me or was doing it like me. And the thing that I tell the people that come to sit for me, the souls that show up and are attracted to me, my goal is that they realize they don't need me. What I want to do is affirm to them that it is their higher self. There's so many other words that can be used. It's like source energy, your guides, your higher self, your inner being, God, whatever it is that like you resonate with. But that energy is always trying to guide you, support you, and lead you towards your highest timeline, to the highest expression of yourself. And you're getting those messages all day. We all are getting them all the time, but we've been conditioned to shut them off. So it's my job in a reading to show you and validate for you things that you're probably already thinking, things that are like in the back of your head, but you're ignoring, or like whatever. I'll bring them to your attention and say, you need to start focusing on this thing that you've been ignoring. Like, source really wants you to pay attention to X, Y, and Z. And more often than not, the response is, I already know this. I'm like, I know you already know this. That's kind of what this is for. And so the goal is that you leave a reading and you feel like, okay, like I'm feeling clarity on which direction to move into. I have validation from the other side that's telling me this is what I need to do. And then you've got that clarity and confidence to move forward. And then coupled with my natural given gifts as a projector, I can give you strategies, resources, like things that will best support you in actually taking the next step on that journey. So it's one thing to go to someone who does a reading for you and they're like, you need to do these things. And you're like, great, how? And they're like, I don't know, good luck with that. And then like, off you go. But like, I've been doing this work for so long in this manifestation space. I've got like, these are bookshelves on either side of me. I've got all the books. I've listened to all the podcasts, all the interviews, all the courses. Like, that's literally what we did in our manifestation journey. So I know that any soul that comes to me, I'm like, okay, what level are you at? Like, how can I sort of support you in this next leg forward? So that is the overall trajectory, I guess, of the Elegant Channel.
Mm.
Does that answer your question?
I love it so much. And this
Okay.
is what I love about the people that I've chosen to be on this podcast is that you come on, you share your heart with us, and then I'm like, we can take this in 50 different directions. I've got
I
so
know.
I don't show up with questions. I'm like, we're just going to see where this goes.
I love that so much. I don't either normally.
Yeah, totally. What I'm feeling called to circle back to is a lot of things. But one thing is that I want to highlight that you mentioned about manifestation and like your own journey within the manifestation is the repetition of this new paradigm,
Yeah.
this new,
Yeah.
the meditations. You did it for how long were you doing these meditations?
Before that came through, it was about 6 months.
Yeah. And then you said you
Yeah.
listened to this interview for 6 months every day on
Yeah.
repeat. I mean,
Yeah.
I think people are like, oh, I'm going to listen to this affirmation rampage. And then why isn't my manifestation here? This shit
Yeah.
doesn't work, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it's an identity shift. Like it's not as simple as, oh, I want to do this thing. I desire it really, really badly. I've written it down for like a week and nothing's happening. I mean, Joe Dispenza is such a perfect teacher of this. Like he's like, no, we're rewiring your brain, guys. Like that takes time. And you have to invest in that time. And I've done all kinds of stuff. I'm recently really into post-its. So like I have post-its right beside my bed so I can't forget because I would find myself forgetting all the time. Like we are 99 point something percent energy and less than 1% matter. I forget that. We all forget that because we're so encompassed with this illusion that is this physical reality. So that's one of the post-its on my wall. It's like, don't you forget that you are energy. Stop that. And I'm like, right. Okay. So like things like that. And one of my favorite, this actually also came to me in a meditation. One of my favorite sayings right now is brick by brick. And it's like reminding myself that this does not happen overnight. It is, I am building this foundation of this beautiful life and it is brick by brick. So like when I'm doing a launch, for example, for my business, I'm like brick by brick. Every email matters. Every post matters. If no one signs up for the container, you still just marketed the crap out of yourself and what you do. It's brick by brick, right? So that for me has been a huge shift compared to where I started like 5 years ago with our manifestation journey, where I was like doing all the things and doing the spells and doing the affirmations. And like, I was like, going all in, like a student, the crap out of this, and I was seeing some results, but then they would change really quickly. Like I wasn't invested in the identity shift. And so that's what Joe brought to the table. Like Joe was like, this is a long-term thing. Like you got to be ready to actually shift your identity and visualize and embody who it is that you're becoming. So then the brick by brick thing again really stands really strong and true for me because now I'm actually finding like the bumper sticker, the joy in the journey. Like I'm genuinely enjoying the journey now. Now I'm like, oh, this is getting fun. Like I'm acquiring more knowledge in a way. I'm doing it without the rush, without the like urgency or I'm patient. I'm excited to just savor the knowledge and the wisdom that's growing each day. And that has been such a shift for me. Like I'm not in a hurry. I'm genuinely enjoying all of this and really loving the surprises that pop up along the way.
Ooh, I love to be delighted and surprised by the universe.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but for a while, I kept on trying to get this. Okay, so I had one Manifestor podcast, right? And then
Yes.
I listened to the Surrender Experiment by
Yes.
Michael Singer. Have you read that
Michael
book?
Singer. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah. It blew my mind. And I was like, maybe
It's
it's
insane.
not
Yeah.
about manifestation. Maybe I'm just meant to surrender to what the universe is going to bring to
Yeah.
me. And that
Yeah.
ended up in me basically composting my business, right? Like got rid of,
Good word.
thank you. Well, 'cause I kept on saying like burn it down, but I really
Yeah.
wasn't. Like I was still using the juicy
Yeah.
material that I had created. It just
Yeah.
came
It's
out in
awesome.
a different way.
Yeah.
And then I started to get stuck because I was like, well, I feel like I heard, maybe it was you. I feel like somebody was like, you have to be really clear with the universe still. Like, I wasn't
Mm.
being very clear with the universe. I was just like, whatever, like, let's
Right.
just see what comes to me. And what
Yeah.
was coming to me was not really
Mm.
in alignment with what I really truly wanted. And so I was
Mm.
like, maybe I'm doing this wrong. I'm really interested in your
Mm.
take on surrender. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, in the manifestation process, in your life, and how you incorporate that. But before you begin, I also want to share, obviously, my podcast is not called Surrender Podcast anymore because I was like, this isn't working. Like, something else needs to shift.
I love that so much. That's so great. I mean, it's such a buzzword, I feel like, in the manifestation community, this whole idea of surrender. And there are a lot of what's misconstrued understandings with what that actually means. You could probably speak to this even more than I can, but I'll give you my perspective on it. What I have found is the more deeply that I connect and trust with my higher self, my guides, easier it is to trust. So you start developing this like relationship with them. And then the surrendering part is easy because you're like, oh, they got this. Like, you're very in tune and connected with that guidance that you receive. And maybe you don't have like a, bestie relationship with your guides, but they're with you and talking to you regardless. So they know the best how to get through to you. They know you better than you know yourself at times. Maybe not even at times. They know you better than you know yourself. So they know how to get through to you. They know how to give you, open that crack of least resistance for you. They know what you're going to be drawn to. And you can't mess this up. That's something that I like always want to stress. Like, you can't miss the boat. There are 1,000 boats. If you miss that one, there'll be another one. Like, they know how to get you to where you want to be. They know the path of least resistance. They know the shortcuts. They know everything. So the more you open up that dialogue with them, with just the energy that is in meditation of letting your mind rest, and then suddenly ideas come to you and you're like, what would happen if I acted on that? And then suddenly something incredible happens because you acted on that, right? So the more you exercise that, the easier it is to quote unquote surrender, because that's not even really the word. You're just it's like having a bestie that you trust or having a partner that you trust. You're just kind of like, is surrender the word? Yeah, I guess so. I just trust them so much that it's like, I'll do my part, but I know they're doing theirs too. Mm-hmm. So my part isn't in the stress, isn't in the trying. Like, I don't go out of my way to quote unquote try. I just trust that they're giving me the insight and the ideas and the opportunities and the networking to act on. And then I do my part in whatever those ideas are. So I have to take action on what those inspired ideas or invitations to a podcast. You say yes to those things, because it's, going to take you to whatever the next thing is. So I think just the more you feel connected to the divine in whatever word you use to describe that, surrender is a byproduct of that, I think. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love that you replace surrender with trust, because that's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trusting that I'm going to be taken care of, and that all of the ideas and inspired action steps are going to come to me that are going to lead me in exactly where I need to go. And so this brings up something that I'm dealing with right now, which is like, I feel so busy with the things I've committed to. I'm in school. I have a business. I have several jobs. I, have a kitten and a dog, right? Like, I have a house to take care of. I have all these things. I don't have kids, so I can't even imagine how you do it with kids. But obviously partners help, parents help, etc.
Yes.
But I'm like, I'm so busy that I don't even have the space to hear the guidance. Right. And even if I did, I don't have the space to take the action on the guidance. I mean, as I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, okay, but here we are on this interview, and that was an inspired action, right? Like, I do
absolutely
have this. It's just, I don't know, like, even especially as a projector, I'm like, again, going back to what you said about victim mode, I'm like, I'm a victim here. Like, I don't have enough space and time. And what if, and part of me was like, maybe I just need to like offboard, like quit my jobs and just focus everything I can on my business. But that feels really scary financially. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
I love this. Okay, wait. Did you just ask me for guidance as a projector? Because like, I'm here for this.
Yes, I did.
I'm like all tingly. Okay. It's my favorite thing. Okay. So what I would say to that, it's a Joe Dispenza quote actually, where he's like, people who say they don't have time to meditate, it's like, oh, you're busy? Okay, then you need to meditate for an hour. Oh, you're really busy? You need to meditate for 2 hours, right? Like, it's like that, like non-negotiable, like, if you're that busy, like meditation for me has developed into like a prescription. Like, it's like, if I don't do it, I feel lost. I feel discouraged. I feel like panicky. I feel like I'm losing the trust. and then I'm not surrendering, and then I'm taking control, and then I'm spiraling. And especially with 3 kids, I've got 3 boys under 6. So it's like, it's bananas at my house. I do have a village. I wouldn't have had 3 kids if I didn't have the village. So yeah, like that, it can get out of control. So what I believe naturally happens when you prioritize meditation is suddenly the tasks that you need to focus on, suddenly they start to prioritize themselves. Like you are going to start to notice which ones you just need to do next because you're in alignment and you're trusting. Also, the ones that aren't supposed to be there will naturally start to fall away, not even of your own control. So it's like something that's not meant for you is just going to drift away. It's like, nope, that's not supposed to be there because you're in that vibration, that alignment, that trust, and recognizing that your energy is everything, especially as a projector. Oh my God. And are you doing things to give people guidance? Are you doing things to like light up, to give yourself that burst, right? That higher vibration of energy. So yeah, like I just think that if you are committed to meditation or you're committed to your vibration, I think in general, the universe has a beautiful way of sorting itself out, and you start to get really confident in the decisions that you're making because you are in such strong cahoots and co-creation with your higher self. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
I had I was a part of a business mastermind for a little bit, and this one
Okay.
woman who used to work at the Chopra Center and was very she's also a coach, and she
Okay.
meditates every day, twice a
Yep.
day. And someone told her, she shared this with us within the mastermind. She was like, yeah, I once was talking to a coworker at the Chopra Center about X, Y, and Z problem, and he was like, you don't need to solve your problems, you just need to meditate more. And I was like, damn, honestly, everything keeps coming back to meditation. When I first
Yeah.
started my entrepreneurial journey, by just listening to entrepreneur podcasts, like Entrepreneur on Fire and all these other ones,
Yep.
um, meditation kept coming up for all
I
these
know. I
entrepreneurs. It was like,
know.
this seems to be a common theme
I know.
here.
I know.
What is so you mentioned you used to do the Joe Dispenza meditations, and then that has
Yep.
shifted a little bit. I'm curious, what was your practice with the Joe Dispenza meditations and what is it now?
Okay. So the practice with the Joe meditations, because I'm a mom of 3 kids, I found his shortest one. So like he has them on YouTube, but people have edited them. And so I'm of the belief, like he does so much research and stuff on like the science of like your brain and like how to come in and out of meditation and the sounds, and like he goes, he does his homework. So I'm of the belief that you should purchase his meditations, and they're not crazy. I think they're like 25 to 35 US dollars for a meditation. And the amount of times you use them, I'm like, I mean, it's a no-brainer. And so where was I going with that? Okay, so he had a 20-minute one. And so I live on an island and the ferry ride is 20 minutes. So like it would get to, I'm like, all I have is 20 minutes. And like people, this is a small island. Like, I know people are looking at me all friggin' closed eyes or whatever in the car meditating. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Like this is what I need for me. So like the 20-minute one, and even, if things were kind of crazy in the house, I would just look at my husband. I'm like, I just need 20 minutes. That's all it is. Just let me run upstairs for 20 minutes. And so that was like you have no excuse. You can do 20 minutes. He's got like hour-long ones. I'm pretty sure he has a 90-minute one. And it's like, you can go into those ones. But yeah, the 20-minute one was my, like, you've got no excuse. You can squeeze 20 minutes into your day. And so that's kind of all it was. And like, I could have taken it up a notch with journaling and stuff, but sometimes with kids, it's like, I've committed to the 20 minutes. Good for me, and I'm like on with my day. So there's a couple ones for him that were really important for me. There was a heart opening one. He has an abundance one that I was afraid of. I had all this resistance to his abundance meditation because I was struggling so much. I'm like, oh my God, another thing I'm going to buy that's going to like help me make money. Like I've bought all the courses, I've done I was just at that point, that victimizing state, right? Where I was just like, ugh. But of course I started listening to it and I was like, oh my God, this is a game change. Like it was so good. So that started to bring about all kinds of crazy change for me. Like in those meditations, he's like, take some time to visualize this, like whatever it is that you need for your future. And I think I started listening to that one. And within, I want to say it was between 2 and 3 months, I was debt free. And I was like, this is not even of my own. It was wild. It was a whole series of events, but like all my credit card debt was paid off and it was $30,000. It was gone. I was like, okay, Joe. I'm like, I hear you. I hear you. That was not part of the plan. Like it just, yeah, it was crazy.
That's so wild. I love that you said 30,000. I'm like, that kind of gave me chills because one of my manifestation practices is repetitive journaling. And
Yeah.
I've been writing for the past several weeks now. Thank you for the $30,000 in my bank account.
Okay, universe, we see you. That's so cool.
Yeah. So would you
Wow.
take the ferry every day?
Not every day. No.
Okay.
It's just those are the days where like I should have done it first thing in the morning, but I couldn't because I had to jump on the ferry and like go somewhere. So like, but no, it was just literally if I found a 20-minute pocket, I would use it. Because again, like as a mom, it is wild. Every day brings something different. You have a plan for your day, and then it all falls to crap. So it's like, but I will say, I mean, using the manifestation practices that we used for OMJ has set my life up in a way that I have no business living. Like it's, we live in this house on the water. I'm driving my dream car. And like, again, all circumstances that I could not have planned. Like I did not have control over how all of this came to be. I desired it and I held that desire and I visualized it and I did all the things. But what would happen, I found in the learning process of that is like sometimes something would change or something would be taken away or like I would still fall into the trap of that not having it be a part of my identity. And so it felt, even though I had these things, it was like the fear of it slipping away or like my credit card still climbed up in debt. Like all of these things that don't feel like it's a part of my identity, but doing his practices, I have shifted my identity and I can feel the shift. And the reason I know I can feel the shift is because I'm not having the same default thoughts I had, right, a year ago. Like they're not at all the same. So that has been like yesterday morning, I think it was yesterday morning, my first thought that popped into my head, I didn't have to try and fix it. It's like the first thought that popped into my head was, I cannot wait to build my life with another brick today. Like I'm excited to add to the foundation today instead of why don't I have the car? Why don't I have the thing? I wish I had more money, blah, blah, blah. And that's normally how it would go before. And instead it was just like, ooh, we get to add another brick today. And I was like, oh yeah, we do, like, and in whatever way that looks, right? Like sometimes again, as a mom, plans change, but there's always something that you can do in the day to add a brick to the foundation. And so yeah, I've noticed that huge shift, but yeah, sometimes it was 20 minutes a day. Some days I couldn't get to it. I'll be honest. There were days where I'm like, ugh, like, today all I wanted was, and then the victim would spiral. But I've come a long way with that. And so this would be the part of the podcast where I talk about the direction that I'm heading in. Mm-hmm. So this is not something I have shared publicly yet, but I'm going to share it with you, Katie. I'm not going to say anything either. Like we'll see the people that are in my like vicinity and I'll advertise that I was on your show and we'll just see if they notice this little tidbit and reach out. It'll be fun. This will be a fun experiment to whoever's listening. But so in my channeled readings, should I talk about how those have even started?
Yes, that was the next question that I was going to have was like, can you tell us more about the channeling? But I want you to channel your way through whatever feels like you're guided to talk about. So yes, they're your channeled readings.
I should talk about the channeling and like how that came to be, because that was not part of the plan. Like I wasn't like, I'm going to channel now. Like, no. And this wasn't something that this is hard. We're all born with it, but I think we're conditioned out of it. Mm-hmm. So it was during the pandemic. It was 2020. This is in and around the time that we met. I was going stir crazy. I had 2 babies. I had, yeah, one that was just over a year and one that was 6 months old. And I was doing yoga in the house because it was COVID and we weren't allowed to leave the house. So I started, doing as much as I could in the house. And I sat up and I started swaying and not expecting, like it was this, like, I've since learned it's called Kundalini energy that starts in your spine and moves your body. But at the time I had no idea what that was. And it scared the crap out of me, honestly. And I like called my husband and my sister in. I'm like, I lived with my sister and her husband at the time. And, I'm like, guys, watch this. And I'm like, I promise you, I'm not doing that. Like my whole body was, if I focused right now, I could kind of lean into it if I can. Yeah, there it is. So like it's not something that I try to do. It's just like my body, it's like on this, I don't know what it is. It's energy. And so that led me down this whole rabbit hole of like channeling energy, right? So at first it was the swaying and I would like kind of rock back and forth or sway side to side. And then it went into like convulsing, like shaking. So I'd finish my yoga practice and I would lay on the floor and just relax. And then my body would start convulsing, but I could talk through them. I'm lucid through them, but like we've got videos of it. Like my sister has videos of it. It's just like, if you go to my Instagram, they're on my highlights. You can go and look.
I think that was our first conversation when we hopped on the call. Yeah, we all were like, probably. Is this normal? And I was like, looks pretty normal to me.
Yeah. Well, and you'd advertised about, you're like, witches, like, I want to talk to the witches of the world. And I was like, yes, I think that's what I am.
I think that's what's happening.
Yeah. Because I couldn't explain it. Explain it. But fortunately, and I would be willing to argue as fate would have it, my mother-in-law is very into the world of woo, like she and has been for years. My husband grew up listening to cassette tapes and CDs of Abraham Hicks while she cleaned the house. So like, I know, like back when Abraham Hicks had only like 20 people in the room, like she was one of those 20. Yeah. So she's been into it for like a long time, like a closeted witch here on Wolf Island. I don't think that she calls herself that now, but whatever. She's closet woo on Wolf Island. Yeah, it's totally what she is. She lives in this forest. Her house is epic. It's like exactly what you imagine. She's like a witchy, like Oprah up here. It's amazing. Anyway, she lives 5 minutes down the road from me now. But so I contacted her and I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, you should consider bringing a pen to paper or better yet, typing. And I was like, typing what? Like, what do you mean? So I brought a pen to paper and I would ask my hand questions, like questions I would have no business knowing. So I would ask like, who won the football game last night between the Buffalo and, I don't know, whoever Buffalo's playing, Packers or something. And I'm like, so did Buffalo win? And it would do like a circle for yes. And then I would look at my husband like, is that right? And he's like, yes, that's right. I'm like, okay. So that's when we started to like play. I'm like, what other things do I have no idea about that we can play with here? And then I started bringing my hand to the keyboard and it was like rapid fire of random like guidance, if that makes sense. Yeah. It was all loving messages, but it was just like, we're so glad you're here. You've opened up this channel. We're so excited to talk. Blah, 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 blah. And like, I couldn't type fast enough. And it still happens to me where if I let them really give her, like it's typos galore, like, cause it's just coming through so quickly. And so then I started asking it questions. And then I started asking it questions, them, because they sound as a collective. They use the word we and us a lot. So then I started asking them questions for family members and friends, being like, let's give them some guidance. And then we were hosting a retreat at our house, not the one that you facilitated with, but it was the year before. And I was like, what if I channeled a message for each of the women that are coming, just as an experiment to see if this is legit? And so I was channeling for them and it was a wild experience. Like I had goosebumps, like I was crying, like it was like really intense, and Sam was there for most of it and recorded some of it. And so I knew what their messages were. I couldn't remember all of what was said, but each of the girls were given a word. And I knew the word for each woman during the retreat, but they didn't open the letters until the last day. So I was watching things as the retreat was unfolding and I was just like, this is wild. This is wild. Like, okay. So then we had a dinner and they all opened them and the messages were so on point. Like for the one girl, she had taken Reiki and she had been thinking about doing classes and teaching other people how to do it. And her word was teach. And she didn't tell any of us this. Like, I had no idea she wanted to become a teacher, but her word was teach. And like her career since then has completely like, she's doing extremely well. I've had another one where I was like, okay, I'm sensing that you're either going through a breakup or you're getting a promotion. I don't know which one it is. And she laughed and she's like, it's both. I was like, okay, that's crazy. Okay, cool. So like after that weekend, I was like, all right, like I think this is something that I need to start offering to the public because it's too accurate not to. And like I have fun doing it, and let's see if I can be of service to others. So that's where it sort of started, if you will. So that would have been 2021, 2022 that I really started to lean into it with our manifestation journey. And then I sort of took a break, and then the Elegant channel. And then I actually channeled a message for myself, which I rarely do and need to do more often. And they were like, you're going live on Instagram today and you're going to channel for people. And I'm like, that's terrifying. Like, I haven't advertised this. Like, I don't, this is like really scary. And they're like, just trust us. We're not going to let you down. I was like, okay. And so of course I did. And so what started happening, I started doing those whenever I felt inspired. I would just go online and channel for free anybody that was there and wanted one. And what started happening was I would get the odd loved one that would come into a reading. So I'm like, oh, what is going on? Like, I don't want to advertise that I can do this because I don't want anyone to expect that their loved one's going to come through. Like, I take that very, 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 very seriously. Like, I'm okay with a general energy, like, and the messages that come through are just smothered in loving energy. Like it's hard to explain it, like, unless you receive one. But like, if you don't cry in a session, it's pretty rare. Like, cause they just want you to know how loved you are and how they're supporting you all the time. And like, they're so excited that you're willing to be open and receive this connection with them. And anyway, so that's kind of what I had focused on. But then the odd time a loved one would come in, and it was like undeniably them. Like what they're saying to this person, I'm sensing, so my right side is masculine, my left for me is feminine. So it'd be like, I'm sensing someone on my right side. Like the one live channeling session, she lived in Australia, and I'm like, I'm sensing an M-A name, like like Matthew. And she's like, Malcolm is my grandpa. I'm like, okay. And then like all of this information came up, like stuff that there's no way I could have known. Like it was just, so this kept happening. I'm like, okay, it wasn't all the time, but when it was coming through, I'm like, okay, this is something I am very interested in and very nervous to say that I do, because I'm not trained in that. And it's not something like when you're messing with connecting with people's loved ones, you better be sure that that's what you're doing. So I don't even know. I was feeling like the last couple weeks, I guess, I was feeling this curiosity and this pull to take a mediumship course. So I'm like, I don't know about this. Like, I'm like, I'm scared. I don't know. Like, am I even capable of this? Like, I have no idea. And I've come across this medium. And actually, of course, I messaged my mother-in-law and I'm like, do you know any good mediumship courses that I can dabble in and see if this is something I'm capable of? And she was like, yep. Then she sent me one right away. She's like, you need to know this person. And I'm like, okay. So her name is Suzanne Geisman. Have you heard of her?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Her story is incredible. She was in the military in the States. She was like very left-brained. She was one of the highest ranking military officers in the United States. Like she worked for underneath the Secretary General. Is that the highest level? Yeah, she was like, right. I don't know, somebody way, way up high. And she was one of his top officials. Like it was like her and like 2 or 3 other guys. So she was like traveling around the US with him. She was during the Bush administration. She was like in all the stuff. She was on one of the only planes in the air when 9/11 happened, because they were flying to England and they had to fly home, but all the other planes were grounded. So she had seen the towers and the Pentagon from the air, which like no one else had. Like her story's nuts. So then I know it's crazy. So like she was very, very left-brained, very like this is all there is, you know? And then her husband's daughter passed away suddenly. She was also in the military, and she was going from a building to another building, and she was struck by lightning. She was 6 months pregnant, and she was struck by lightning. Like, it was just like scurrying across. It wasn't raining. There was a storm kind of far away, but like just bang, like struck by lightning, gone. So she was just like, what? Like, you know, she just wanted to look more into it. So she started to look into mediumship, and over time had developed the gift, because she was in and around mediums. She was attending their classes, and they were like, okay, you try. And she's like, I'm not, what do you mean? Like, no. And then slowly but surely, but what I love about her so much is she, because of her background, she was such a skeptic, and she was like, I need evidence. Like, I'm not going to be, you know, saying I need evidence. And she's like, I wasn't born with this. I didn't see ghosts at the end of my bed, you know, like, she's like, because that's my impression of mediums, is that like the Teresa Caputos and the, what's this, Kyle Garrick or whatever of the world, like the mediums that have always been mediums and have been talking to their dead loved ones forever. Like, that's what you have. I didn't think that I could do that. And then she, you know, I've come across my radar, and she's like, anybody can do this. If they are committed and they are opening up and they do the work, anybody can do this with evidence. That's the key for me. I don't just want to be a medium. I want to be an evidential medium, because otherwise, what's the point? Like, they can't heal unless I can prove that it's their loved one talking to them. I want to prove it. I want evidence upon evidence that this is undeniable, that your loved one is on the other side trying to talk to you. And then I learned there's a medium school in England, and I'm like, well, I'm going to this. Like, I'm going all in on this. So I have been consumed with mediumship content in the last 3 weeks, I guess. So this is very new, but I'm like, I've just crushed her first book. I'm about to, you know, audiobook. I'm taking her course right now. So all of my meditations now are about connecting more with my guides and getting proof, getting names, getting like, who's over there, what's going on. Like, I'm deepening this connection to the divine as much as I can, to then set myself up. I'm only early on in the course, but I'm like, I'm all in on this. So like, the shift has moved. Instead of just being so general, now it's just like, I want to be the clearest channel I possibly can to bring peace to people who are suffering because they've lost a physical loved one. Like, that to me, I can't really think of anything greater. And like, to use this gift that I clearly have had and didn't know I had, I'm like, okay, if it is developable, then I want to use it for that. That's what I want to use it for, because that to me is like, that should be, in my opinion, what this is for. So that's how it's shifted. That's where
Hell
it was,
yeah.
and that's how it's shifted. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So do you think you'll rebrand to the Elegant Medium?
I'll probably keep it the channel,
Okay.
only because from what I understand from Suzanne, you can still tap into that collective we if you want to. So if somebody's trying to seek advice and they don't necessarily have a loved one they were close to that's passed on, but they're still looking for guidance, I can still do that. And I mean, like, I can do both, basically, is
Right.
kind of, I don't want to close the door on the people that are still seeking guidance, but don't have any dead people they want to talk to. You know?
Totally. So I'm curious, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, so please feel free to be like, no, this is not how
Oh,
it works,
we've
Katie.
come this far. We've come this far. Don't worry about it.
Can you, like, would you be open to doing any sort of channeling for me right now?
Oh, I could. It would take me a minute to tap in if you're ready for some like dead air.
Okay. So my next question for you is, this is a question that I'm going to start asking everyone that comes on the podcast.
Okay.
What are 1 to 3 book recommendations that you think everyone should read? They can be on topic with what we've talked about today or not at all.
Have you already recommended the surrender experiment to them?
No, not directly. I mean, kind of, but not
We
directly.
sort of did.
Yeah.
Could that be like a freebie? I don't
Hell
know.
yeah.
That is such a good one. It's such a good one. Um, God, it's so hard. 1 to 3. I don't like, I could give you a whole. Okay. Are they new? They're new to this? Or are they pretty woo?
My audience is already pretty woo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're open to
Definitely.
all of this. Let's put it that
Oh,
way.
okay. The Surrender Experiment.
Okay.
Anything Abraham Hicks. I'm going to use the Surrender Experiment as a freebie. So, Abraham Hicks, just books in general. They've got a bunch. Just pick whatever one you want. Outwitting the Devil. Love that one. It's so good. And I'm looking
That's
at my
by
books
Napoleon Hill,
now.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good one.
So good.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
good. Um, mm, I'm gonna say I have so many in my head. Okay. I'm gonna say if you haven't already, Light is the New Black by Rebecca Campbell. Um, it's just really good at reminding you of your power in this world. Like really getting you onto your quote, not your purpose, because I feel like that word can overwhelm people, but like what it is you're drawn to do in this world because you are the only one that can do it.
Hell yeah.
Like there's no one else like you. And that book is like, and it's short, like you can just like pick it up and like read a little bit and then that's like your fuel for the day. But yeah, that's a really good one.
Beautiful. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome.
And my last question is where can people go to learn more about you and book to work with you, find ways to work with you?
I love this question. I'm on Instagram. It's the dot elegant dot channel. Um, I'm also, is it Mickayla Pyke? It's mickayla.pyke.com/ the elegant channel is the other. I have mickayla.pyke.com because I'm also a filmmaker. So like half of the website is for film and half is for. So if you just go to mickayla.pyke.com, you'll see you've got two choices. Like which avenue do you want to take? So you'll see a little logo there for the elegant channel. You can just click on that and it'll go. But those are the two places that I hang out the most.
Beautiful. And we'll link those
Yeah.
below this video and in the show notes and all the things.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
And yeah, like it started with just those one-on-one readings, and then I got this kind of call to do something a little bit bigger. So I'm on my second round now of doing what's called channeled guidance, and it's an 8-week container of you get a message from source every other week for 8 weeks. And it is, I mean, the first time I did it, I didn't really know what was going to happen. I'm like, I'm trusting you guys here because this idea came from you. So I'm like, you guys show me what you're doing, meaning source. And what they did was kind of created this like pillar system. My mind was blown. Like they're like, these are the things that you need to focus on if you are going to become the identity that you're looking to become. So like they spread it out so it's more digestible. But when you kind of zoom out, which I do as a projector to look at the big picture, I was like, oh, like what? Like they knew what they were doing. Like they knew the timeline. Like, of course they do, because it's infinite intelligence and time and space doesn't exist there. But like, I couldn't believe it. Like I had 4 people in the container the first round and I was like, this is blowing my mind, you know, like it already does in most of the channeling sessions, but like this was like, this is next level. So I did 6 weeks before. I just closed it. So I'm doing 8 weeks with some souls that are in it right now. And then I'll open it up again in the future. I'm not sure when, but it'll be available at some time in the future. So they can look out for that too. And then maybe you could link the bracelets. I don't know. You could put that in they're cool.
Yeah.
They're human design bracelets and they're really fun. They're like, I did these channeled guided meditations for each human design type, which as far as I know, I Googled it. Like I looked into Pinterest. I'm like, do these exist? They don't exist, which is so cool.
They
So
do
you get
now.
the crystal. They do now. I know. So you get the bracelet that is designed to support the chakras and the energy centers that need support. So like, you know, for projectors, like that sacral energy and that, you know, that needs to be supported. Or clearing of energy needs to be supported as well. And I don't know, you have to look on it. I'm not the expert in the crystals or the human design. I collaborated with 2 other experts on that. I just did the guided meditations, but it's created something really, really beautiful. So that's on the website too. And you can link that too. Okay. Those are all my plugs since you
Beautiful.
asked.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're gonna channel. So I used to offer this. It's so funny. I used to offer this kind of as an intro like product, like as a, I would call it a little note where I would tap into your energy. But what I found was if we weren't able to talk about it, I can't go deeper and give you the guidance that is necessary with the note, if that makes sense. So like I would give it to them and I'd be like, does this resonate? And then they'd have questions. And then I'd have to be talking like, this is defeating. This should just be a one-on-one reading. Like, what are we doing? Like, I need to feel like I'm giving you the substance that you deserve. So we can channel something here. We won't do the full thing because it actually takes like a long, a whole channeled reading takes 60 to 90 minutes. So we're not going to do that. But I will pull something through and just see what they want you to focus on right now. That's all I'm going to ask them, what your
Amazing.
higher self wants you to focus on.
I love that because my focus is like all over the place right now. So yes, give me something.
We're going
Give
to
me
hone
something.
in. We're going to hone in. Okay, so all I'm going to ask from you, Katie, is to take a deep breath and start to get centered. Moving into your heart space, you can visualize your heart, your third eye, and your crown opening, all the while, of course, keeping yourself grounded. And breathing in and setting the intention to receive the clearest message possible, to receive exactly what you're meant to hear in this moment, and to connect, to make the connection between our guides as strong as possible so that I can receive the clearest message possible. Does that make sense to you? Okay. I'm laughing. They're making me laugh. Okay. Okay.
I love that they're making you laugh.
You've got such a sense of humor. Have you seen my arm? Have you been watching my arm move? Can you see it?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna give you what they've given me so far because it's like okay. All right. So of course I'm like sometimes they give me things and I'm like, well, no, duh, that's not helpful. But maybe it is for you. I don't know. The first word was trust. I'm like, well, that's what we've been chatting about this whole time. So like, of course they're gonna say that.
Yeah.
They're saying get out of your head and into your heart. They said you are a free flowing spirit, one who is filled with the effortless guidance of the divine. Retreat to nature, place your feet on the earth. I'm not sure if you can do that where you are because it's cold.
It's cold. I can do
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Use the innate wisdom that you already have inside of you. You don't, they said you don't need us or this reading. I don't think they've said that. They haven't like said that in a reading before, which is what's making me laugh. And then they said there's a lot of wisdom in your dancing. So they kept taking my hand away from the keyboard, like, you don't need this. And then they started showing me that, like, I've seen you do this dance. Like, this isn't my kind of dancing, but I've seen you do it. Like, I'm more like friggin', I don't know, rigid, but I've seen photos of you doing it, like, where you're like, it's like a trance. Like, it's like that state. So I was trying to type, but they kept pulling it away. And I'm like, okay, well, what are you trying to show me? And then it was just like, I'm like, you're showing me her dancing. That's what
Mm.
you're showing me. So there are two reminders for you today. One is nature and the other is dancing, but you're dancing, you're trance dancing. But it just like, the reason I was laughing is because they're just like, it's like the imposter syndrome. Like, you don't need this. You do not need to pay for a channeled reading. Don't do it. You're not that I don't even think I would charge you at this point, but like, it's not, you don't need it. Like, you've done the work. It's about now just making sure that you are the vessel to receive the guidance that you have already trained yourself to receive. Like, they're,
Damn.
yeah.
All of that resonates so much. The nature part of it, like
Yeah.
I've known for almost 10 years now that my purpose in life is to reconnect people to the healing power of nature.
Okay.
And here I am, like, I'm too busy to get out into nature. And I'm like, no, I literally live on the Truckee River. Like, it's flowing
They
through my
showed me the
backyard.
river. They
Yeah.
showed me the river. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things I saw.
Totally. And then I do actually call my dance the trance dance. And like
No, you
I
don't.
do. Yeah. Especially when I'm
Okay.
like in partner dancing, like when I'm dancing with another person at Ecstatic Dance or at a workshop. I went to a partner dancing festival in October. Like,
Okay.
I've noticed that I can put other people into a trance with my dance. It's wild.
I wonder, maybe we're drawing attention to that.
Yeah.
If that's something that you're able to do and brings you like that high vibration, that joy, that maybe there's something there. Maybe that's why they're drawing your attention to that.
Interesting.
If it's something that you've stopped doing.
Yeah, it's something that, well, living where I live, there's an ecstatic dance 30 minutes from me, and there's an ecstatic dance an hour from me. The one that's an hour from me
Okay.
is like the best in the world, which I'm
Okay.
so grateful for. It is a little hard in the wintertime to get like up and over the mountain, depending on weather and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but damn, okay, noted.
Two
Follow the
things.
dance, dance in nature. I need to put that
I
on a
mean,
sticky note.
you do next to your bed or wherever it
Yes.
is that you can get reminded every day. Because like that, it's so funny too. Because I've had these readings before where to me it sounds quote unquote simple. But I mean, if you've seen the movie Soul or whatever, it's like, it is simple.
Yeah.
Like, we're just supposed to be happy and have fun here,
Yeah.
And there's so much, if you can put your body in places, physical places, but also like physically move your body to get yourself to that higher vibration, like unspeakable amounts of coincidences, networking, synchronicities, like signs, everything will start to flow your way. And we forget the basic principles, right? Just going back to the basics, especially
Yes.
as a projector. Like, it's so, like, when I put on music and I'm having fun dancing, I normally cry. And it's like, there's just that movement of the energy that I'm not doing enough, right? Like, I'm not making the time to do it. Like, happy dancing doesn't matter. Whenever I'm just dancing in general, I usually get a release because it's like, yes, you need to like move that body. And you are such a gifted dancer. You are. So, like, I feel like this is like, use that gift, right? In conjunction with all of the other gifts that you have, all the wisdom that you have, all the courses that you've taken, the desire that you have to support and uplift others. Like, it's very rare that I have a reading and they go, she doesn't need this.
It's so funny because I actually thought about booking a reading with you. Maybe I need to book a reading with her. And but then my
I love
guides were
it.
like, not right now. Like
No, you
you
don't.
don't need that. Like it was a
No.
no. It was a no. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, all right. Well, I guess I'll just have her on my podcast.
So perfect. Two lines
Yeah.
in, they're like, this is cute. She's
Yeah.
cute. She doesn't
Well,
need you.
it's interesting because we were like dropping in and we were breathing, and my mind was kind of like bouncing all over the place. I was trying to focus on the intention, like, well, like download
Mm,
clear guidance. What am I focusing on right now? Open to clear
mm,
guidance, open to clear guidance. And I was like kind of bouncing around. And then I switched to the mantra that I use during meditation, which is the primordial sound of the
mm.
exact moment that I was born,
Oh,
which
wow.
we're not supposed to share what it is, but I just like switched to that, and as soon as I switched to that, you
Oh.
started typing.
Really?
Yeah, yes. I was like, whoa. Yeah, it's the sound of the universe the moment that you were born. So,
Whoa. How do you find that out? And how do I
um,
find that out?
I did a meditation course with Deepak Chopra, which I
Okay.
actually haven't finished. And
Okay.
upon finishing it is when I'm supposed to find out how to like figure that out for clients. I
Oh,
basically,
wow.
yeah, with the coursework, I put in my birth date, time, location, all the things, and it gave this to me. But it's a part of the course. Like I don't have a website that I can go to put it in.
Okay.
That's one of the things that they equip you with when you're like a certified teacher.
Gotcha.
So once I have the time to finish that course.
Well, maybe this is it's another little nudge for you. Like,
Exactly.
we're bringing that up, that intuitively came through to you. Like, we don't take any of this stuff lightly, particularly when we're in these spaces. That's how I see it. So if you receive a sign when we're in this space, it's because your guides are doing what they can to support you and bring that sign to your attention. So to me, that suggests maybe finish that course, maybe use that as part of your offering. I'm of the belief that as much as we can do, as much as possible, is supposed to be rooted in joy and fun.
Mm,
And especially as projectors, we're supposed to play, which I will admit I am very guilty of not doing this enough. So that it's like, whatever it is that you're designing and creating, ensuring that your joy is inserted into that. So maybe that is dance, or maybe that is helping people discover the sound of you when you were like, what? Like, that's mind blowing to me. That's so cool. So I don't know what it is exactly that you're working on right now, but as long as that joy is infused into it for you, that's just going to have like so much more of a profound impact on everybody that you're in service of.
mm. Amen. Thank you.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So good.
Well, Mickayla, thank you so much for joining us. This is such a juicy podcast episode, and I'm so excited to launch it.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This was so much fun. It's been a while since I've done one, so I'm really grateful to be here, and I'm so grateful you thought of me. And I'm really grateful you didn't book a call. This was so much better. This is awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you.